My island tour has taken me from the tranquil and picturesque to the deserted. My final destination in this series is very different. Busy, bustling and bursting at the seams, Gibraltar isn't even technically an island. It just thinks it is. Taken by the British in the 1700s, this rock's ownership has caused controversy ever since. Connected to the mainland of Spain by a narrow strip of land, this tiny fake island is home to an incredible 30,000 people. Over there in the distance is North Africa. All this along here is Spain. And where I'm sitting is good old Blighty. How weird is that? At just 2 miles wide, space here is at a premium, making this road double up as a runway, and that means everything has to stop when a plane lands. Luckily, one of the most popular ways into this island is by cruise liners, and on this trip I'm going to be cooking up a treat for some VIP guests currently heading towards us across the seas. But before they dock, I need to get to grips with what Gibraltarian food actually is. First of all, I'm off to try a very British tradition, afternoon tea. Hugging the Rock, this iconic hotel was created in the 1930s and is a throwback to the colonial time when things were, well, more genteel. Well, over the years I've had some afternoon teas, but I have never, let me tell you, never had an afternoon tea as spectacular as this. Hotel chef Alfred was born and bred here and has been a chef ever since he was 15, so he's the perfect person to ask about local cuisine. Alfred, tell me about the food here.
Okay, it's a Genoese origin.
Yep.
But you also have Spanish influence and Morocco being so near as well, and obviously British influence. They still do roast beef here like they would do in the UK.
And Yorkshire pudding?
And Yorkshire pudding as well.
This island is a melting pot of tastes and influences, from the very British at the Rock to the Spanish seafood speciality just down the road. Here Chef Mario speaks not a word of English. Luckily, however, we speak the international language of food. Okay, that goes in the oil. Chili?
Yeah, chili.
Yeah.
Gamba.
So these are big prawns.
Añadimos.
And straight in. Wow. It smells fantastic already.
Huele bien. Pimentón dulce.
So sweet pepper.
Yes.
Ah, prawns pill. See,
Finish.
I'm almost fluent.
Simple.
Look at that. It's not just prawns Chef Mario is a master with. Wow. That is what I call a proper fish stew. So having seen the English and Spanish influences firsthand, now it's time to see some real Gibraltarian cooking. Well, I'm here to meet me. Well, if I lived in Gibraltar and I was a female. Bear with me. All will be revealed. Vicky Garcia Bishop has her own show on Gibraltar TV, and she's promised to cook me some local dishes at one of the most stunning locations on the island. This is the Mons Culpa, the very top of the rock. What a fantastic view. Do you know, I've never been here before, and on purpose. I didn't do any research about Gibraltarian food. So,
I'm quite pleased.
so I'm relying on you to tell me about it. I mean, look at this great spread here.
I have to tell you about our national dish. That's calentita.
Calentita?
Yeah.
So what is actually in it?
Chickpea flour.
Yep.
Water, lots of pepper and some olive oil. It comes from a time, it was our street food many years ago. It goes back, it's been traced back even into the 1800s. Vendors used to sell it for a penny a slice down the street, and it's our sort of most famous national dish. It's our only really national dish. I quite like that.
Now what is this?
It's eggy bread basically, but it's dipped in a stock syrup which is infused in cinnamon.
I could indulge my sweet tooth here all day. But Chef Vicky is cooking a dish that's been in her family for generations.
Right, I've got here, I'm going to make an almond flan.
You heat sugar and water in a pan, and then beat the eggs before mixing them all together. Heat in the oven for 30 minutes and top the dish with almonds, and it comes out looking just like this. Look at that.
And I like the way the almond forms a little bit of a biscuit on the butter.
So have a little taste of that. That's the nicest pudding I've eaten on Gibraltar.
Really? Glad.
Before I head off to start my own cooking, there's a few more VIPs that I need to meet at the top of the rock.
Hey, hey, we're the monkeys, and people say we monkey around.
Actually, they are apes. And over 300 of them live here after making this peak their home hundreds of years ago. He's pretending to be asleep. So I've decided, in honour of the rock, that I'll be cooking my mother's recipe for rock cakes for a very tough audience. Sorry mate, you ain't get none of my rock cakes. Instead, I'll be cooking for the ladies and gentlemen on board the Ruby cruise liner. Before I report to the kitchen, Captain Stephen is making my dream come true, a tour of the bridge. I'm going to ask you a really stupid question now. How do you drive it?
Well, for actually steering the ship, we've got a wheel here.
Oh, old-fashioned?
Yes, this one's a little bit more old school than some of the more modern ships.
So that's what he sees?
Yes, he'll generally be looking at the gyro up here,
I see, okay.
or sometimes the magnetic compass.
While I'd love to play at being captain all day, I should really get on with some cooking. I've got to go because I've got a very important activity to cook.
Okay, thank you. See you later.
See you later. Rock cakes are very simple to make. You rub flour and butter together using your hands to make a rough breadcrumb-like consistency. After 5 minutes of rubbing, you add the sugar, orange zest and my mum's now not so secret addition, candied peel. Then beat in the eggs, then pop them on the baking tray. Now they need to go into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Must get a move on because my guests are hungry. Tea poured, all my guests need now are the finishing touches. Well, there you go, look. They smell delicious. Although I do feel a bit frothy. Anyway, here goes. Here we've got...
So sorry.
Here we've got, hello, my mum's rock cake recipe. Now, my mother, on pain of death, said to me that they have to be good. Shall I just pass you? Look at that.
Thanks, Phil.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Well, there's rock cakes, and this is one of the best, I think.
Considering my job remit is normally to avoid rocks, I think we've found the exception to the rule, so it's very nice.
Do you think I'd make a career out of it?
Never know.
Oh well, maybe a few more years, then I'll get the hang of it. Traditional rock cakes in the shadow of the rock are a fitting way to end my visit to this melting pot of an island. I've loved taking this tour of the islands of Britain as much for the amazing culinary experiences as for the people I've met along the way. It just shows that Britain and her islands, both near and far flung, are home to fabulous food, and it's all on your doorstep. Enjoy.